Hello students, today we will discuss IB Math HL Paper 2 May 2019 Time Zone 1. In this paper you should use graphing calculator, for example TI-84+. My name is Nariman Melim, I am located in Baku, and here you can see my mobile and email. To prepare for exam you can use textbook of Oxford 2012, very well written textbook. But for sure you should have a copy of Mathematics HL formula booklet, because you can use this booklet at the exam. Let's start. This cover page. Cover page. Right, section A. Question 1. Let I be the tangent to the curve at the point. Find the coordinates of the point where I meets the x-axis. So tangent is straight line, so I suggest that the formula for tangent is mx plus c. M, because it is intersecting with, is tangent to the curve at some point. Gradient m will be gradient, so we can find m as gradient of our curve at the point of where the tangent touches the line. So we find gradient. Gradient is equal to first derivative, so we find first derivative of this function. So here we use product rule and the product rule, and then chain rule. So first we find derivative of e of 2x, then derivative of 2, and we find this gradient or derivative at point x equal 1, where we have intersection of these lines. So we find the gradient is 3e squared. To find c, we substitute again the value of our tangent line A at this point 1e squared, and we find that c equals minus 2e squared. So this is the equation of the line. When it meets x-axis, I equals 0. So I equals 0, we find it happens when x equals 2 over 3. So coordinates are 2, 3, 0. This question is done. Question 2. So here we have z squared equals Euler's form of imaginary number, giving you answer in the form REIT squared and a plus ib squared. So let's call our z squared as x. It has real part and it has argument. So real part looks like 2 squared and argument is pi over 2. We have two roots according to theorem opposite to Marv's theorem. So two rules are given by this formula, and k can be 0 or 1. So we substitute k0, k1, and we find two solutions. So here are two solutions. To represent this in the form a plus ib, we turn Euler form into polar form, and we recognize the cosine pi over 4 is 1 over square root of 2. So z1 will be square root of 2 plus I square root of 2. Because argument of second root is by pi, so if we draw unit circle, if this is first solution, second solution is here, so it has both arguments negative, the same arguments but negative. So this is minus square root of 2 minus square root of 2. So these are two answers. Question 3. For question 3 we have the marks achieved by 8 students in a class test are given in the following list. So 8, 4, 7, 6, 10, 9, 7, 3. Find the mean, the standard deviation. So first of all, we copy this data, and we found that 7 is repeated 2 times, so frequency is 2. We are going to use graphic calculator, and here are the steps. So start, edit, type in L1, so X values, then, so let's do it. So start, press start. First you need edit 1. In L1 you put X value, so it is 8, 4, 7, 6, 10, 9, 3. And then we go to the right for frequency, and frequency is 1, 1, 1 except 7. 7 is 2. So 1, 1, 2, oops, mistake here. 1, 2, oops. You see, it takes some time. 2, and then 1, 1, 1, and the last is 3, 1. So we inserted all data. Now again we press start. Now we need to calculate. So we use calculate first column, first row. L1 is ready, so list is L1, frequency list. We go down to put here L2, we press second and then 2. You see L2 appeared. We go down and we calculate. So it's working. No, it was not working. Now it works. And here we have to copy the result. So mean is 675, so we copy, and standard deviation is 222, so we copy with 2 significant figures. The teacher increases all the marks by 2. Write down the new value for mean and standard deviation. This you should know, that all results increase by 2. It means that average also increased by 2, resulting in from 675 to 875. So here I found a mistake. So standard deviation stays the same because they are spread in the same way as before. A 9th student also takes the test. Explain why the median is unchanged. Let's look. So we put now our result in the increasing order, and when 8 results, median is between 4th and 5th position. So we have 8 results, and it is between 4th and 5th position. It is 7. If we put some result in the middle, before 7 or after 7, it doesn't matter. If we put before 7, so median will be 5th result. So if before, then it will be 7, this 7. If after, this 7, sorry. If after, it will be that 7. Doesn't matter, it still will be 7 because 2 7s are in the middle. Question 4. The function is defined as between 0 and pi over 2. Write down the range of function f. So first of all, function f is 1 over cosine plus 2. Cosine graph goes from 1 to 0. It means then 1 over cosine will go from 1 to infinity, positive infinity, and if we add 2, from 3 to infinity. So range of function f is more or equal to 3. Find inverse function stating its domain. To find this inverse function, we swap. So first we write our functions, then we swap y and x. We rewrite for y, and we get the inverse function. Domain of this function is range of f. Hence, from previous result, we get that domain is x more or equal to 3. So this is the answer. Next question. Question 5. Use integration by parts to find integral. Integration by parts from section 367 of booklet. So in our case, we call u logarithm x squared, and dv over dx is 1 because b equals x. So we used it once. And now here we should find du by dx, so it is v du by dx, so it is x 2 times logarithm x, and derivative of logarithm x is 1 over x. Then after simplification we get this integral. Now we should work with this integral. Again, we can use integration by parts. This time u equals logarithm xv equals x. We get x logarithm x minus x. We substitute it in the previous result. Finally, we get this. Simplify and don't forget constant c. So this question is done. Question 6. Let z equals a plus bi. Argument is theta. Show the points represented by z and z minus 2a on the following R-round diagram. So if a plus ib is this, then minus a plus ib will be reflection over axis imaginary z. Find the expression in terms of theta. Argument z minus 2a is, if this is theta, so argument will be this angle theta minus p minus theta, so this angle. So this is method 1 from graph. Method 2, so cosine will be expression for cosine, expression for sine, and we see that cosine alpha has opposite sign, the same sign but opposite cosine, so it means that we have pi minus theta. Hence or otherwise, find the value for theta for which real part is 0. So real part is 0, double I. Argument equals hence C. So now C. As real part is 0, the angle is pi over 2. We use previous results, so argument equals pi over 2. Hence theta equals pi over 4. This is done. Question 7. Here we have graph. The function is defined, so we have two functions, fx and gx. The region The region R is bounded by the curves, and the lines y equals 0 and x equals 0 and y equals 9. As shown on the shape of the clay vase can be modeled by rotating the region R through 360 degrees about the y-axis. Find the volume of the clay used to make the vase. So here, actually we don't need this. Right, okay, so I copied this graph here. So G is this function, F is this function. Volume of revolution is from booklet it is volume of revolution is given by this formula when it is rotation around y. Internal volume is can be found using graphing calculator. So let's use graphing calculator. Right, okay. So how to use integration? So we press alpha, then we press window. Here we see choices and we need finite integral, it is 4. Here we insert data. So for example, from 1 till 9, and the function is x squared, x squared. Here we should change x squared in terms of y, so we rewrite formula, so it is y minus 1. So it is not this. It is x minus 1, bracket is given, so it is x. In terms, this will be in terms of pi. Right? Let us see what calculator give us. 32, so 32 pi, so we get 32 pi. So don't forget, so x squared should be changed and expressed in terms of y. The same we do for external volume, this time x squared. So first we find y equals, then y squared equals x minus 1, square root of y. So x squared will be square root of square root of y plus 1. So and we get the value in terms of pi, and this is the result. So in the same manner, question 8. Solve the inequality. So we rewrite inequalities. So here we have a quadratic equation, so it is parabola, concave R parabola. For it to be possible, we need to find x1 and x2. How we are doing it? We're using calculator. First of all, we press y equals. Okay. Actually, we don't need this. We can solve quadratic equation and find this x1 and x2. Actually, that's simpler. So we go to apps. We press 2, press enter. We choose polynomial root finder, quadratic. Next. So a equals 1, b equals minus 2, so 1 I didn't put, so let's put 1, and c equals minus 1. So here we have two solutions. Minus 0.414 and 2.414. So we use this value, so we know x1, x2. So for function to be positive, x1 should be less than this value, and x2 should be more than this value. Use mathematical induction to prove that 2n is more than n squared. Okay. Step 1, check for n equals 3. So they give us n equals more or equal to 3. So it is true. Step 2, let's assume that it is true for k. Let's prove that it is true for n plus k plus 1. N equals k plus 1. That is, so let's start. So we know from assumptions that 2 to the, so this is true. Let's multiply by 2. Split 2k squared into k squared and k squared, and we know that k squared is more than 2k plus 1 from a. From a, we know this. Because when k equals more, when x equals more than 3, this is positive. We convert this into square of k plus 1, and we have proved it. So now we go to section B, question 9. Hello students, yesterday I downloaded section A. Today we'll discuss section B, IB Math, HL paper 2, May 2019, times on 1. In this paper you should use graphing calculator, for example TI-84+. My name is Nariman Melim. I'm located in Baku, and here you can see my mobile and email. Let's start. Section B, question 9. And here we'll prepare solutions for question 9. Here they are. Right. A cafe serves sandwiches and cakes. Each customer will choose one of the following 3 options: buy one sandwich, buy only a cake, or buy both a sandwich and a cake. The probability that the customer buys a sandwich is 0.72. Probability that customer buys a cake is 0.45. A. Find the probability that a customer chosen at random will buy both a sandwich and a cake. So here we have Venn diagram. Sandwich and cake intersect. Probability of sandwich plus probability of cake will be 1 plus probability of sandwich and cake, because it is counted twice. Rewriting this formula for probability of sandwich and cakes, we get the answer. Double S, only a sandwich. Only a sandwich is probability of sandwich minus probability of sandwich and cake. Right, here we are. So we use previous result to get the answer. On a typical day, 200 customers come to the cafe. B. Find the expected number of cakes sold on a typical day. So expectation, so number of customers is 200, probability is 0.45, so we calculate the product, we get 90 number of cakes sold on typical day. Second, double I, probability that more than 100 cakes will be sold on typical day. So selling cakes, let's consider as a success. Then we have 200 customers, probability of success 0.45, so we should find cumulative distribution function for x more than 100, which is 1 minus cumulative distribution function for x less than 100. Why we need less than 100? Because calculator tell us less than 100. So how we do it? So press second, distribution, and here we I scroll up, and I find binomial cumulative distribution function. I press enter. So here you should insert yourself trials 200 probability 0.45, x value 100, so insert, calculate. But we need 1 minus this value, so we put 1 minus second answer. And we get the answer 0.0681 to 3 significant figures, and we have it here. Done. It is known that okay, let's make it bigger, right? Okay, it is known that 46% of the customers who come to the cafe are male, and that 80% of this buy a sandwich. CI. A customer is selected at random. Find the probability that the customer is male and buys the sandwich. CI. So male, we turn percent into probability 0.46, then female will be 0.54. Probability of male and buy sandwich is product of probabilities, so we multiply, we get the answer. Double I, a female customer is selected at random. Find the probability that she buys a sandwich. So we should find conditional probability using this formula from booklet, but we need expression for probability of sandwich bought by female. Total probability of buying sandwich is equals to probability of sandwich bought by female plus probability of sandwich bought by male. Rewriting this formula, we have expression for sandwich and female at the same time. So we put here, we put the values, one of the value we calculated in I, and we find the value. So question 10. The voltage V in a circuit is given by the equation V equals 3 sine. A. Write down the maximum minimum value of V. So sine is maximum value plus 1, so V plus 3. Minimum sine minus 1, V minus 3. So minus 3 plus 3. The current I in this circuit is given by the equation I equals 2 sine and so on. Write down two transformations that will transform V over I. Let's compare. First of all, we see that it is multiplied by a factor 2, 3 to stretch parallel to y-axis, and also because we add to x some value, we should shift to the left by the same value. So answer is the following. First transformation, stretch parallel to y-axis with x-axis invariant, scale factor 2/3, and second transformation, shift to the left by 0003, or translation by vector minus 0030. Done. The power in this circuit is given by product of V and I. Sketch the graph of Y from t0 to 002, showing clearly the coordinates of first maximum and first minimum. So first of all, if we multiply, we get function 6 sine. Let's use calculator. So we press y equals, and here as you see, I have inserted the function 6 sine 100 pi x without multiplication times sine 100. So first bracket is given by a calculator, but closing bracket you should put yourself. For example, this bracket also you put yourself, x plus 003, and closing two brackets. Be attentive with zeros to get correct graph. So let's see. So we press draw. So you see right top bottom, it shows that it works. So it draws graph. Let's wait. Why my graph looks so nice is because beforehand I changed window settings, x minimum to 0, x maximum to 0, 0, 2, y minimum to -6 and y maximum to +6. I will show you how to do it. Graph is over. So to change, to have nice graph, you should press window, and here you should put x minimum, x maximum from 2, and y from 6, and minimum -6, and maximum +6. So you do it beforehand and then draw graph. But we didn't finish. We need to find maximums. So how it is done? So second trace for maximum. You see this trace, we need first maximum, so we should push this trace to the right, and we should show to calculator left boundary, right boundary, let it guess, and then get the exact value. So I am moving trace for the left boundary of first maximum. I should jump over maximum. Yeah, I jumped over maximum. I press enter. Left boundary shown. Now I move to the right. Jump over. Right boundary shown. Guess. I don't know why you need this guess. And finally, after some sort we'll get the maximum is at this position. Let's see. It is x is 0, 0, 35 and y is 476. In the same manner, by pressing second trace, choosing minimum, showing left and right boundary, you can find the first minimum. Right? Okay. Let's go further. So we sketch graph and we clearly showed coordinate of first maximum and first minimum. So this is how it should look. Find the total time interval from 0 to 0, 0, 2 where power is more or equal to 3. So for this reason we should add another graph which is y equals 3 to find the period interval when power is more than 3. We need T1, T2, find the difference, T3, T4, find the difference. How we find this intersection point? So second trace, intersection is 5. For example, I need this intersection because I am closer to it to save time. So I move tracer to this intersection and I show first curve, right, and second curve. Yes. Intersection is faster a bit. So we got intersection. This is third point. Let me show what I got. Yeah, third point is 0, 0, 11, 67 and 6. So this is right. So you will get 3 points. Find difference here, add, and you will get this value. Done. The average power in this circuit is given by the equation find average when capital T is 007. So we should use effectively our calculator. How we are going to do it? So alpha windows, and here we have finite integral, so it is 4. So we insert the values, so from 0 to 007, and here we should not insert again our function because we have it somewhere. So we press alpha and trace, and here we have choice of our function, so we need this y1. We move, here we put x dx, x, then we should divide also by 007 according to formula, and we press enter. And we get 287, 3 significant figures, so this is done. Right, now we go with reference to your graph, explain why p is always more than 0. So p is integral. Integral is area under the graph, so we have big positive, so moving to the right, so we have positive, 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 then we have negative area added, but it is much smaller, and again positive added. So as a result, we always, the total sum of areas will be more than 0. So answer is like this: integral equals algebraic sum of areas between graph and time axis, as positive part comes first and is much greater than negative part, the mentioned integral is always positive. G. Given that P can be written as this, find A, B, C, and D. Okay, let's do it. So P equals A sine BT minus BC plus D. P maximum equals A plus D because sine is 1. P minimum is minus A plus D because sinus is minus 1. P maximum minus P minimum is 2A. P maximum and P minimum can be found from our graphs. So it is maximum and minimum value. P maximum plus P minimum is 2D. Again we use these values, but this time we add and we get D. So BT, so when B is multiplied by period, it becomes 2 pi. From picture we see that half period is from here to here, so it is 0085 minus 0035. So it is half period. It means that period is 2 times greater, so we divide 2 pi by period and we get 200 pi. Argument at t equals 0035 should give us maximum, so should be equal to pi over 2. So it means that argument of the sine function bt minus c is argument, so it should be equal p over 2. B we know, time is 0035, we substitute and we find C. Done. Now question 11. Consider the equation, this equation has 3 distinct real roots which can be written as logarithm, logarithm, logarithm. The equation has 2 imaginary roots on which one of which is di, where d belongs to r. Show that ABC equals 8. So we have degree of this polynomial 5, it means that the product of the roots will be equal to q multiplied by minus 1 to the nth power, which is 5, so it is minus. It means that sum, if we go minus plus minus plus minus, the sum should be equal to minus minus 3, which is 3. So due to Vieta's theorem, sum of all roots equals 3. So if one root is di, another is minus di, conjugate. So we put everything here. Then we use property of logarithm, and then we find that ABC is 8. So this is A is done. Show that ABC equals 8. The values A, B, C are consecutive terms in a geometric sequence. Show that one of the real roots is 1. Okay. The geometric progression can be, let's take A as first element, then we have U are R squared, R is common ratio. So product is 8. It means that it can be rewritten as one of the terms cubed, so it means that one of the terms B equals 2, and hence one of the solutions is logarithm B with base 2, which is 1, so this is done. Given that Q equals 8d squared, find the other two real roots. From Vieta's theorem, product of all roots, as we have checked, is minus Q. Right. So let's call roots R1, R2, R3. R2 is, for example, 1, as we have proved. So we have sum of all roots equals 3. So R1 plus R2 plus R3 equals 3. 1 is 1, so R1 plus R3 equals 2. Product is equal of 1 is 1, one of the roots is 1, so product is equal minus 2. So we have actually xy plus product equals minus 8, sum equals 2. By guessing we can find 4 and minus 2. Method 2 is by drawing two graphs and finding intersection. Again we will get minus 2 and 4, or substitution y equals minus 8 over x into one of the formulas will give us quadratic equation, and using let's use it. Okay, so we didn't do it, so let's do it. Right, so we want to find roots of this equation. We go to application, apply polynomial simultaneous, advertisement. We use polynomial roots. It is for quadratic, so we go to next. So A equals 1, A minus 2 is second coefficient, and minus 8 is third coefficient. Invalid input. I think that it wants me to use this minus. It's good that it tells me. Sometimes it doesn't tell, just say okay, enter and solve. So we have two solutions, 4 and minus 2. So we have 1, 4, minus 2. We have done this paper. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.